Yes, congratulations on being accepted to Career Prep. Just so everyone knows, it's a very, very simple concept. You will be taking students who have been accepted. You will be taking in the fall 2 college classes in the fall semester and 2 college classes in the spring at Mercer County Community College. So you won't be coming to the Mercer County Technical Schools campus at all. You're just going to be like a grown-up college student. It's a great, great way to get your foot in the water for college classes while you're still in high school, but in an area hopefully that you're interested in. So it's not necessarily, you're not taking college level calculus or something like that. They're career-based areas, hopefully that you will enjoy. You're going to be in classes with grown-up college students. It's not just for high school kids. Because you are just taking college classes. Most of your high schools are going to offer you dual credit or count this as dual credit, which means that the grade that you get on your college transcript for these classes will also appear on your high school transcript. And so it's important that you work hard at these classes and do your very best. They'll go on there as elective credits, so it's not necessarily like it's an AP thing or anything like that, but they're gonna appear there in most cases. Another great thing about these credits is depending on the school and depending what you end up studying after high school, many times these credits will transfer. Again, probably just going to appear on your high school on your college transcript as an elective, but then again, you never know if you're taking the pre-engineering program, for example, and you end up going to an engineering school, especially in New Jersey, they may very well take those classes. That is not guaranteed or promised or anything. It really just depends on the place where you're going to school. So, Mr. S, would you first share this in the chat so folks can look at that? There we go. Thank you. That's a 2-page document, folks, and depending on what program your student was accepted to, you can actually look at that. And this is also on our website. There's so much on our website, so I implore everyone to go to our website anytime you have a question. That document is there. This presentation will be available on our website, both the slide presentation as well as my big pumpkin head talking, for till the middle of next year for sure. So if you have any questions or you forgot something, jump right back into that. Couple of things. So in that document that Mr. S just shared, you can see what the 4 classes are, and I'll just pick digital film as an example. Typically, the classes for next year will be CMN 141, which is Intro to Television Production, CMN 148, which is Intro to Editing, and those will be your 2 fall classes. And then after that, there's 2 more classes in the spring. Mercer County College determines what those classes are and when they meet, as opposed to myself or anybody at Mercer County Technical Schools. We partner with the college to do this, and we handle the admissions, and we handle we work with them to get you guys registered. But ultimately, you are going to be college students, so you're going to be dealing with Mercer County College directly. As a courtesy to us and our students, Mercer County College tries their very best to schedule those classes between 12 and 2:30. That is not always possible. Sometimes they can't find a professor and they have to offer it at an earlier time or a later time. Other times, there just wasn't enough enrollment in one section and they had to offer it at some other time. Sometimes they won't run a class at all and they will offer us a replacement for you all. So most of the classes take place on the West Windsor campus, which is right on Old Trenton Road. I'm sure everyone is familiar with it, but it's right across the street from our Assenpink Center. There are 3 programs. The Fire Science program is at the Dempster Fire Training Center in Lawrenceville, right there off of Quaker Bridge Road. And the 2 fashion classes, Fashion Apparel Design and Fashion Merchandising, are held at the Kearney campus, which is in Trenton. Now, having said all that, there are going to be times, whether we like it or not, there are going to be times where that class will meet and it's going to meet a little bit later. You know, it has to get out at 3 o'clock or 3:30. There are other times where it might meet a little bit earlier. All right, your counselor in those events, especially for the classes that might end up needing to meet earlier, will do their very best to build your schedule so that you can make it to that class. But sometimes it might cut into a lunchtime, or sometimes it might it might make it difficult with your sending district's transportation. But we will work through all of those problems with you. Your counselors now are already, knowing that you're going to be a part of this program, scheduling your academic classes in the morning so that you have your afternoons free. Just like our shared time CTE programs that are on our campus. You're going to be with us from, you're going to be at your home school from 7:30 or 8 or whatever until lunchtime. And then after lunchtime, that bus, if you need the bus, is going to take you to first the shared time students to our Assunpink Center, and then across the street to drop you at the college, typically around 11:45 or 12 o'clock. You will typically have one class on Monday, Wednesday, one class on Tuesday, Thursday. Occasionally, there'll be a class that meets on Fridays. Occasionally, there'll be a class that goes a little bit later, or you might have two classes on one day, but they try to fit it all between that 12 and 2:30 time frame. The tuition is free. This entire program is free. However, any books or uniform requirements or things of that nature, the student is responsible for that. Some sending schools, your home school may have a way through grants or for title money or some other way to help you with those costs. That's something you talk to your counselor about if the cost of books or things like that present a problem for you. Some classes may not have books at all, but we're going to explain to you how you can look into that and find out. All of the procedures as far as purchasing books, as far as going to class, all of that other stuff, you have to adhere to Mercer County College's steps and programs. All right. So this might be the most important part of the presentation, is how to register at Mercer County Community College and how to create your My Mercer account, your Mercer County Community College account. So let's follow these next steps. And I know that often students take screenshots. Not this one. The next one I'm going to show you. But so here's the thing: when we get a message from Mercer County College, we're going to send it to the same email address that you guys applied to this program with. All right. When appropriate, we'll try to include your parents on that communication and your counselor at your home school. But the main takeaway here is you're going to have a couple different email addresses that you're working with in the coming year, students. You got to check your emails frequently, please. All right. Whatever email address you heard about this event tonight, I'm talking to the students now, whatever email address you heard about this on is the email that we have. And so that's the one that my school, Mercer County Technical Schools, is going to use. However, later on, once you get registered at Mercer County College, you're going to have a Mercer County College email address as well. I also understand if you go to Steinert High School, you've probably got a Hamilton email address. If you go to Princeton High School, you've got a Princeton email address. So that's 3 emails you got to be checking now, okay? But the ones for your college classes, that means a message from your professor. That means if class is canceled. That means checking your grades. That means signing into the My Mercer portal. That is all going to happen through that Mercer County College email address. If for some reason you need to let us know, if you've got an email address that you don't want us to use, if there's something that you check more frequently or something that's going to be better for you, just send us an email at admissions@mcts.edu. And we can update that for you in our own records. There we go. Okay, here we go. Go ahead and I know students do this. Take a screenshot of this, but again, this will be on our website. This particular slide is very, very important. So you need to, and you can do it tomorrow. You can do it Do it, please, sometime in the next week or two, but you will need to apply to Mercer County Community College. The direction to do that are on their website, on Mercer's website, but I've got the steps for you right here as well. First, you need to apply to Mercer County College. So you're going to go to their website, which is mccc.edu. You'll click on that little drop down that says apply for admission, that little icon in the top left corner. Then you will create an account, much like you did when you applied to this program. There's certain fields just for the application part. Important to note, and this is, you'll have access to these slides. It's going to say enrollment type, and you're going to choose concurrent high school, meaning you're a concurrent high school student or you're a dual enrolled student. When it says academic program of study, you want non-degree dual enrollment. That doesn't mean you're not going to get a degree. That's just how they classify it now. And fall 2025. And for now, even though I said some classes don't happen at the West Windsor campus, just click that campus. Okay, the folks at the college know who you are, and if you're in the fashion program or if you're in the fire science program, they will make that distinction for you. And then complete the rest of that application, save it, and continue. And then you will get an email from them after a couple of days with your Mercer County Community College email address. And once you get that email address from them, and once you have that access, you'll be able to access your My Mercer portal, which is going to show you things later on in the summer. You'll be able to see your class schedule, which probably won't happen, being realistic, guys, until the end of June or mid-July. So keep that in mind. All right, you will get that schedule. But the wheels of scheduling at Mercer County College move a little bit slowly because they have a lot of people that they're dealing with. Okay, and I'm gonna have time for questions. I'm sure that this is coming at you pretty fast. Just remember to go back to our website and access this if you have questions about how to apply to Mercer County College and how to create that My Mercer account. Other things, you will, so now once you have that My Mercer account, once you have that Mercer County Community College account and email address, communications from the college are going to come to that. And they'll be emailing you things like, I will be emailing you, my school, Mercer County Technical Schools, will email you things about parking IDs and decals and the bookstore. Anytime that kind of stuff is available, I will let you know. But the college will also be letting you know about that. There are 3 more links here. Is it Mr. S, are these links actually clickable if we put them in the chat?
Yeah, this should be, so I can put them in the chat. Oh,
thank you.
Hold on a second.
One is for how to get your student ID. Do that after you've created that My Mercer account. Do that after you're all set up. But maybe, sometime before you get your schedule and things like that in the summer. The parking information is there as well, under that second link, and the bookstore. So once you know what your classes are and what time they are, which again should happen in July, you will be able to sign on to that bookstore spot and check what books you need. Let's talk a little bit about transportation before we get into the more information about Mercer and their website. Transportation is provided by your home school district, just the same way as if you were a shared time student coming to one of our campuses. I mentioned before, you'll have your academic classes in the morning, and after lunch, you'll get on that bus that takes you to, it'll stop at the Aspen-Pink Center, but ultimately it's going to go to the college. The Kelsey Theater has a traffic circle right outside of it, and that's where you'll be dropped off. It's no more than 100 yards to any building on that campus. And so once you are dropped off there, that is also the same place where you'll be picked up at 2:30 by your sending schools, by your home schools bus, which will also take you home after classes at the end of the day at 2:30. If you drive, you can absolutely drive yourself to and from, which is why you might want the information about parking. But there's a huge parking lot, 50 yards from the Kelsey Theater as well. That's got plenty of room for everybody. So if you drive, go ahead and take advantage of that, and that'll also be easier to make your schedule work if you're playing sports or if you have a tight morning schedule at the home school, etc. But if you are taking the bus, your homeschool will know about that, and they will make sure that you have that transportation. But you may be limited by when they can take you. They may only be dropping you at noon and only be picking you up at 2:30. So if that is the case, and you have a class that meets differently than that, do your best to find another way, whether it's with a friend who's also driving, or hopefully you'll be driving yourself if you have access to a car. We'll try to help you work through those problems, and your counselor will help you with a lot of this stuff too. Your counselor is really, really great as far as scheduling goes, scheduling classes, knowing about the transportation situation, and working with you to make all of this work. Okay, so as I said, in July, that schedule will be available, and you access the My Mercer portal on Mercer County Community College's website. Once you have that, all your login information, you can log in there anytime. That's also going to be a place where you get assignments from your professors. If you happen to have an online class, you will be able to see that there and access it from there. Mercer County College uses Blackboard, which might be different than what your school uses, which might be PowerSchool or Genesis. There's a lot of other student information systems. They happen to use Blackboard, which contains academic information as well as your student account information. Once that schedule is available, we're going to email you. If you don't go ahead and follow those steps to open that My Mercer account in the next week or so, we're gonna follow up with you and tell your counselor to you're doing a bad job, and we need you to do that as soon as possible. Because once you have that, the college can begin scheduling your classes. Here's another important point. Yes, your grades. Okay. We do not issue the grades, and actually neither does your homeschool. You can get credit for these grades on your high school transcript. Your school will be asking you about this at the end of the first semester and at the end of the spring semester. The way that you get those grades and give them to your homeschool to let them know, and students, you have to do this. This is not something that I can access for you, but you sign on to that My Mercer portal. You go into your Blackboard account and you look at your unofficial transcript. You just save it as a PDF. I suppose you could screenshot it as well, but the PDF is better. Save it as a PDF, and then you can email that to your counselor. You can print it and take it to them, but that way you'll get those grades to your own counselor, so you can get credit for it at your home. Yes. Okay. Good. I'm going to have, once again, I will have time for questions for everybody. The bookstore, the Mercer County Community College bookstore, we mentioned that you're responsible for the purchase of those books. There's a link right here, mccc.edu/student_book_store_wallet.shtml. Mr. S, God bless him, is putting that in the chat for us. Your section number, which you will know from your Blackboard account, will be listed with the course, and that's how you're going to find that out. That's how you're going to find out what books you need, if you need books. You're also going to have information about your professor. Your professor's email address should be in that account as well. You can email them specific questions. If they say, you don't need this book until the third week of class, you might want to email them and say, is it okay if I get it earlier, or is there a chance we're not going to use this book? That kind of stuff is great to communicate with your professor. But it is advisable to not wait until class is started. You don't want to be there on the first day of class without the book. Okay, and then next, Mercer County Technical Schools, also want your information. So you're going to get, when we roll everybody over in the summertime, probably right about the same time you're getting your classes, you're going to get an email at the email that you use to apply to us, a link for a SNAP code to register with PowerSchool. That's our student information system, and we want to have that information so we can contact you other ways. We want to know how to get in touch with your parents. So please do complete that for us, because we also have to keep tabs on you for your homeschool. If they're going to call me at 1 in the afternoon and say, where is Sally Smith? I'll be able to look you up and say, aha, she's in the exercise science program. She's got concepts of health and fitness today, and that meets at this time on this campus, and we'll be able to find you. So please do complete that. That's coming from us. It might come from enrollment at PowerSchool, or it might come from admissions at mcts.edu, but that's why we got to be checking all those different emails. And just a little bit more information about career prep. This one is also very, very important. Parents, I'm glad you're here now, because this might be the two most important things I tell the students tonight. One, you have to go to class. You must go to class. I hope I apologize if I'm being too aggressive about this, but absences are not excused, and it has been my experience, having run this program for a couple years now with Mercer, the professors are not necessarily that keen on you saying, oh, well, I had something else going on, or I wasn't feeling great, so I decided not to come. Obviously, if you're very ill, we don't want you to put yourself in harm's way, but the absence probably won't be excused anyway. If your homeschool is closed, let's say you've got your spring break, and that's a different spring break than when Mercer County Community College's spring break is, you have to go to class. You have to go to school at the college. They're not going to care if your home high school is on spring break. Or they start, I think, September 2nd. I have that information in here somewhere. They start at September 2nd, but if your school doesn't start until September 5th, you still have to go on September 2nd. Transportation, that's going to depend on your homeschool. There might be a time when Mercer County College has class and your school doesn't, and your school may not provide transportation. They typically do, and they're supposed to, but they may not. That's something you talk to your counselor about. If for some reason you're going to miss class for any reason at all, you need to communicate that with your professor. That means emailing them. That means talking to them about it in person while you are in class. Let them know about that. Sometimes the professor might be nice and say, well, you've only missed one class. I'm going to let you miss another one. But they may not, but they might. If they do, make sure you're keeping up on your work. Make sure you're covering what you missed. Offer to do the work that you missed with that professor. They may take kindly to that and say, okay, this kiddo is really on the ball. They're missing class. This one time was inevitable, but they've come to every single other class. We're gonna make sure that they still get a good grade. Here's a couple of other very important things, guys. The maximum you can miss is 3. And again, the reason does not matter to these professors. It does not matter to Mercer County College. The grade that they give you is going to be the grade that you get. If you miss 3 classes, you're going to get an F. And that F will be on your college transcript for the rest of your life. If your school is doing a dual enrollment thing, you're going to have an F on your high school report card, and it could impact your GPA when you're going to regular college. Couple of other things, grades. Okay, if you get a D in a class, in one of these classes, you're going to have a D forever. If you fail the class, you're going to have an F forever on your college transcript. So please, please, please do your very best, try hard, and make sure you're going to class all the time, communicating with your professors, letting your counselor know if you're having a really hard time. It's the first 2 or 3 weeks of school, and you're not sure if this is going to work out for you, and you're like, gosh, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. That's the time to let people know. Talk to the professor, talk to your counselor. it would be better to withdraw from the class before that withdrawal date, which I'll give you in a moment. Better to withdraw from the class and have a withdrawal than to stay in the class or just stop going and get an F. I'm going to skip this and I'll come back to the special services. There we go. The withdrawal deadline is October 31st for the fall semester. Classes do start on September 2nd. As I said, don't just stop showing up if it's not going well or if you're not enjoying it. Make sure you withdraw and do communicate with your professor and your counselor. I did say I should have had this slide up while I was saying all this. An incomplete in college course, you will get one full semester to make it up, and that too has to be arranged with your professor. A lot of the information about other dates, like withdrawal dates for the spring semester and the start of the spring semester, that's all on Mercer's website. And once you have that My Mercer account, you're going to get a lot of communications about that as well. Now we can go back to special services. If you are a student who has an IEP or a 504, I encourage you, let's say you get accommodations in your regular high school classes, you may be able to get some of those accommodations through Mercer County Community College as well. What you would need to do is reach out to the name of this office changes. It has been called the Center for Inclusion, Transition, and Accessibility, which is CITA. It has also been called the Center for Accessibility Resources, CAR. But if you just go to Mercer's website and say special education or special education students, you will be able to find that. The woman who runs that office, her name is Arlene Stinson. She's great. She will work with the students. But parents, I hate to say this because I know those of you who have children with IEPs or 504s, you've probably been advocating them for a long time, advocating for them and with them, but this is something they need to do on their own. They need to reach out to Ms. Stinson. They need to reach out to that office, Office of Student Services on their own, and they may need to go in and visit on their own and bring their most recent evaluation or a copy of their most recent IEP. That office will tell you what exactly you need. But to be clear, and I will actually read this little disclaimer, dual enrolled high school students who have elected to take college courses may request academic accommodations. It is important to understand that the high school IEP and or 504 is not transferred to the college. They're not going to know if your student has an IEP, and your high school is not able to. It's not that they don't want to, but it's just, it's not possible for them to transfer or have it automatically go over there. So you have to follow their accommodation process, which is to visit the Office of CAR or CITA, the Office of Student Services. So please do that if you need those accommodations. All right, we talked about the courses and withdrawal dates and grades and how important it is to go to class. Just a couple of other things to keep in mind, and then we'll get to questions. Yes, I also actually mentioned this already. We can't get your grades. You have to go in and get those grades. So parents, since we have parents with us, I want to stress this. It is great when you're advocating for your kids, and we do appreciate it. Unfortunately, and I am here for you. I can answer questions, and I can set you on the right path. If your child is having trouble signing into their account, I can say, here, try this. You know, go to their IT website, which is mitts@mccc.edu, and that will help you. If you are having technical problems, they may be able to help you at that number, at that email address, mitts@mccc.edu. That's for IT items. But getting those grades to your homeschool counselor is your responsibility. And if you're having absences or things like that, that all needs to go to your homeschool counselor. There's links to my website, my school's website, Mercer County Technical Schools, and Mercer County Community Colleges website. Before we take questions, like I was saying, so parents, it's very, very important that your student understands that this is on them. This is like being a grown-up college student, because they're going to be college students next year. So they need to do that advocacy by themselves. They need to go to class. They need to check their homework. If your kiddo doesn't go to college class one day, if they skip a class or something else happens, they miss the bus, whatever, you're not going to get a call, and neither am I, and neither is their home school. So that's I hope that doesn't sound harsh. That's just the way that it is. And many times I've had parents try to call the school, try to call Mercer County College to say, you gave my kid a bad grade, or we're going on a special vacation that week and we just can't be there. And the college, I'll tell you right now, they won't care. So I'm sorry to say it like that. But now, having said all that, this is great. You're going to earn 12 or 13 college credits for free while you're a senior in high school. You're going to get a lot of experience being on a college campus. You're going to take that a big step towards adulthood, which is a wonderful opportunity. And I hope that everyone continues to take advantage of it. And now I think we can take some questions. What do you think, Mr. S?
Yeah, we can do raise hands or ask it in the
I
chat.
see Danielle Nutt put a hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Danielle, and let's hear it.
Hi, thanks so much for your presentation today. I just wanted to reconfirm that the sending district's transportation is only to the West Windsor campus.
Great question, and I see that somebody else just asked that same exact question in the chat. The answer, unfortunately, varies from district to district. So the best thing to do is check with your home school's counselor. If you have, I'm assuming then that your student is in the fashion program. Check in with your home school's counselor. Let them know, blank, your child's name, is in the fashion classes at Mercer County Community College career prep program. Do you guys also provide transportation there? Many times they do, sometimes they don't. Okay, and then Will, I saw that you had a question about how to see your classes, and that was covered in the presentation. The classes will meet. You get your class schedule in July approximately, and you're going to find out that schedule by checking your My Mercer portal. It's in your Blackboard account. You're going to very soon, whenever you have a moment, when we hang up the call here or tomorrow while you're at school, you're going to create that My Mercer account. You're going to follow the steps to open the account up using your Mercer County Community College email. So follow the steps that we just went over in that presentation, and you will see in that account what your class schedule looks like for the fall in July. All right. Can these classes be taken over the summer instead? Nancy, I'm sorry, they can't. They can't. Any student can actually take a class at Mercer County Community College anytime after the age of 16, but it's not free. So if that's an interest for you, Nancy, or if you're the parent, Nancy, you are welcome to do that. This program, that's another thing, I get this question a lot, is when you see what the 4 classes are, they can't really be changed. If they're not running a class, they're going to offer us a substitute class that meets hopefully at the right times. But we can't say, oh, you know what, my kid isn't really interested in basic drawing. Is it okay if they take English 101 instead? The answer is no. I'm sorry. Yeah, and yeah, Kevin, go through this presentation again, okay? Come back to our website in a couple of days and watch this presentation again, and definitely look over these slides, because all that information is in there. All right. Any other questions? Any hands up? I don't see any other hands up.
Mr. Orff, you had one there from for what happens if a student has a senior trip? Will they not be able to attend their senior trip?
It probably not. It really depends on if the trip is going to cause them to miss more than one class, and that's something they should talk about. I'm assuming that's a springtime trip. So at the very beginning of the semester, I would encourage your student to go to their professor and say, "Hey, I have a trip, this thing, or I have a conflict. I might miss this one class." And if it's one class, or I'm assuming maybe two classes if it's a week, the professor might say, "Well, if you come to every other single class, you might be okay." But generally, I would also remember, though, that spring semester might end in the end of April, beginning of May. So I'm guessing the senior trip isn't until later on. So that might work out. All right. Any other hands up, Mr. S? I've got my doing it wrong. Danielle Nutt, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask one other question. During the presentation, my daughter said that she believes that she created and registered and did all of the things that she needed to do, and she used a Gmail account and all those types of things. But the only correspondence that she's gotten back so far is about like an orientation.
Yeah. So your daughter, I'm assuming, and I'm guessing, so I don't know 100%, but that sounds, because when I tell students to apply when they're applying to Mercer County technical schools, which includes this career prep, I tell them to use a Gmail account. Mercer County College would not tell them to do that. And so I'm thinking your daughter thinks that she's done, and it's very important that she, and the notifications you got about the orientation is the orientation that we sent you to come to this tonight. This is the orientation. So it's very important that she does follow the other steps in this presentation to create the Mercer County Community College account.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That she's not the first student to think that. It happens all the time. Good. What else did I miss in the chat here? Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for coming. Where may I find the slides? Reminder, the slides will be on our website. Actually, you could look under the career prep tab on our website right now, mcts.edu, and you could see slides that are almost identical to what we went through tonight.
Mr. Orff, they're actually the slides that we went through tonight. So you can visit there. I also posted it a few times in the chat. If you scroll up, it's docs.google, and underneath the link I put
amazing
Google slide. So it'll be there.
Fantastic.
The calendar for Mercer there too. So I don't know how far ahead I don't know how far ahead they put things, but you can check there periodically.
Outstanding. Thanks, Mr. S. So there you go, Ramonda. It's in the chat, or it's on our website too. For a student, Vincent, for a student who deals with many doctor's visits, would professors be willing to make compromises? Vincent, it really depends. It's hard for me to answer that. Generally, the rule of thumb that most of the professors use is you can't miss more than 3 classes. And I do, you have my sympathy and my empathy if you might have to miss classes for a medical reason, but I would make sure that that's established with the professor beforehand. And my guess is they're not going to be that lenient. I hate to say. That's not me saying that. That's just my experience of what it's been. Natalie Rodriguez, go ahead to the Mercer County Community College's website and check those dates. All right, we want to foster more of that, of figuring these things out. mccc.edu. Thanks for the presentation. Thanks, Kevin. Looking forward to having you. What do the students do when the semester is over or on break and their homeschool is still in session? Great question, Will. I love where your head is at right now. See, Will doesn't want to have idle time. Will wants to be constructive. and make sure that he's still doing other things. So you will not have class. So if the semester is over and you have some time, you may want to work. You may want to read a couple of books. You may want to take another class at Mercer on your own. But I would talk to your counselor. They'll find something for you to do. If you can't find something on your own, you could volunteer at a local organization. But if the semester is over and you still have school, depends on the school, but generally I don't think they're going to be looking for you. Thanks for the presentation. Thanks, Janelle. If a student decides to change program of study, is that possible? Yeah, questions like that, Priya, send me an email at admissions@mcts.edu. All righty. All right. Thanks, Mr. S, for putting that in there. Folks, thank you so much for coming. All this information is on our website. Check those slides, review this presentation, and most important of all, sign up for that Apply to Mercer County Community College and open up that My Mercer account as soon as possible. All right. Thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you all. I'll look for your applications coming in on Mercer's behalf very, very soon.